Welcome to the AI for Technical Writers podcast. I'm Daphne.
And I'm Fred. Great to be back.
It's good to have you. Today we're tackling something that, well, it feels like it's quietly changing everything underneath the surface of AI.
It really is, and we should mention this came our way via our producer, senior technical writer, Curt Robbins.
Yeah.
A really interesting find.
Yes, thanks, Curt. The article is Edge AI versus Cloud AI, the quiet revolution reshaping tech. It's by Elsa Sklavounou, and it was published on LinkedIn September 30th, 2025.
Right, and Sklavounou really nails this central point. For maybe the last decade, we've all thought of AI as needing these huge cloud data centers, right? That's where the power was.
The backbone.
Exactly. But now there's this quiet revolution, as she calls it, shifting compute power much closer to where it's actually used, out to the edge.
Okay, so edge, let's make sure we're crystal clear for everyone listening, especially our technical folks. What exactly is edge AI in an architectural sense?
Yeah, good question. Think of it like this. Cloud AI is like having this one massive central library downtown. If you need info, you got to go there, ask the librarian, wait.
Right, send your request off, wait for the response.
Exactly. Edge AI, it's more like putting tiny specialized kiosks right on your street corner. The AI models run directly on the device itself.
So on your phone, maybe a factory sensor, wearables, that kind of thing?
Precisely. No need to send all the raw data back to the cloud for processing. The intelligence is local.
That local processing, that's the key. And it helps to understand the difference between training the AI and actually using it, right?
Absolute critical distinction. Training these massive models, like teaching the AI its skills, that still needs the huge power of the cloud. Think of it as building the library's collection.
Okay.
But inference, that's using the already trained model to make a prediction or classify something or understand speech in real time.
Yeah.
That's what's moving to the edge. Ask the kiosk a quick question.
Got it. And the article gives some great examples of why this matters, things that make it less abstract.
Yeah, like a medical diagnostic app. Imagine it running right on your phone, no internet needed. Suddenly, sophisticated diagnostics could work anywhere.
That's huge for accessibility.
Or the factory safety system example. It has to spot a hazard in, like, milliseconds. It can't wait for a round trip to the cloud. That 300 milliseconds Sklavounou mentions. Too slow, edge is instant.
And the privacy angle, too, with smart homes. If the device processes your voice commands locally, the data doesn't need to leave your house.
Exactly. Big win for privacy and security, especially with sensitive data. No need to send it across the internet.
It makes intuitive sense why this is catching on, and the numbers are pretty staggering. The article says Edge AI could hit, what, $5.4 billion by 2032, up from under $1 billion today.
Yeah, and that's just the AI part. The whole edge computing market, the infrastructure supporting it, that's projected at like $378 billion by 2028.
Yeah.
This is a massive shift in where the money and the processing are going.
So the big question is, why now? What kicked this into high gear?
Well, first off, it just got way cheaper.
Yeah.
The article calls it the cost collapse, running these models. The price per token, basically the compute cost, has plummeted, like 90% cheaper in just a few years.
Wow, 90%.
Yeah, and that's partly because the chips are better, but also because we've gotten really good at shrinking the AI models themselves.
Right, like optimization, compression.
Exactly, model quantization and compression. Taking these huge models and making lean, efficient versions that can run on cheap hardware. Stuff that used to need a server farm can now fit on a $99 chip, as the article notes.
Okay, so it's affordable. But affordability isn't enough if it's not fast or reliable.
Right, and that's the second driver. Speed and reliability. For things like self-driving cars or that factory example, you need instant responses. Zero latency, basically. Edge provides that because you cut out the network delay.
No waiting for the cloud. Makes sense.
It's the only way for truly time-critical stuff.
Okay, so cheap compute, critical speed. And then there's the whole data privacy and security aspect we touched on.
That's the third huge one, privacy and security.
Yeah.
Especially in fields like healthcare or finance, keeping data on the device is just simpler and safer. Less risk of leaks, easier to comply with data laws like GDPR.
It cuts down the attack surface, I guess.
Absolutely. The data stays local, stays protected.
So you've got this perfect storm. It's cheaper, it's faster, it's more secure. And the hardware is already kind of there, right? In our phones, in industrial machines.
Pretty much. Modern devices often have the processing power needed. It's a confluence of factors making edge AI not just possible, but really compelling.
Okay, this is definitely changing the landscape. Before we get into what this means for, say, the big cloud companies and for us as technical professionals, let's take a brief break for a special message from our producer, Curt Robbins.
Hi, this is Curt Robbins. First, thanks for listening. I truly appreciate your support. I want to let you know that I'm currently accepting new clients. My rates are affordable, and I have more than 25 years of experience working for enterprise companies like Microsoft, Northrop Grumman, Oracle, PNC Bank, FedEx, USAA, and Wells Fargo, among many others. If you want to improve your IT documentation and communications, hire me. I deliver fast, know how to use AI to improve efficiency and accuracy, and love going the extra mile to satisfy my clients. Thank you for subscribing and listening. Back to you, Daphne and Fred.
Welcome back to the AI for Technical Writers podcast. So we've established that inference, the real-time use of AI, is moving out to the edge.
Right. So what happens to the cloud then? Is it fading away?
Not fading away, no. But its role is definitely changing. It's less about doing everything and more about enabling everything. Sklavounou talks about a hybrid future.
Hybrid, meaning cloud and edge working together.
Exactly. The heavy-duty training of these massive AI models, that still absolutely needs the cloud's power. You need those huge compute clusters.
Okay, so training stays central.
But inference, the quick analysis, the voice recognition, the diagnostics that happens out on the billions of edge devices. So AI gets trained centrally, deployed locally, and then managed across this whole distributed system.
Ah, okay. And that have big business implications, doesn't it? The article mentioned disruption for the hyperscalers, the big cloud providers.
Yeah, think about their billing models.
Yeah.
A lot of it is based on paying per compute cycle, per token used for inference. If companies start doing that inference locally on their own devices,
They start paying the cloud provider for that specific task. Ouch, that could cut into revenues.
it could. It forces them to adapt. Their role might shift more towards providing the tools to manage this complex hybrid environment. Orchestration, deployment, updates across potentially millions of devices. That becomes the new value proposition.
Interesting. So who wins in this shift, besides the companies saving money, obviously?
Well, the article points to a few clear winners. First, the chip makers. Companies like NVIDIA, Qualcomm, but also newer startups making those specialized, low-cost inference chips. They're providing the engines for the edge.
Makes sense.
Second, device makers. Think smartphones, cars, factory robots, smart cameras. If they can embed powerful AI locally, that's a huge selling point.
Yeah, better features, more privacy, faster responses.
And third, as you said, the enterprises themselves. They get the speed, the security, and they potentially slash those ongoing cloud operational costs. Big financial incentive there.
Okay, so lots of opportunity, but it sounds complicated. Managing AI that's not in one place but spread out everywhere.
And that's the crux of it for technical professionals, for our listeners. The commentary around this topic, including in Sklavouna's piece, really highlights the challenge. Managing the complexity of this hybrid world at scale.
So what's the biggest hurdle we need to focus on if we're, say, documenting these systems or managing the IT behind them?
I think the number one challenge is lifecycle management. How do you reliably deploy an AI model to thousands, maybe millions of different edge devices? How do you update it? How do you patch security flaws consistently?
Yeah, it's not like updating one central server anymore.
Exactly. How do you ensure the right version of the compressed model works correctly on that specific $99 chip? What happens if an update fails on 10% of devices? How do you roll it back safely? It's a massive orchestration problem.
And that changes what we need to document, surely, if the AI isn't just a cloud API endpoint.
Totally. Your documentation focus has to shift. You still need API docs, maybe for the cloud management part. But you also need things like detailed model deployment, manifests what model version goes where. You need clear security protocols for how data is handled on the device. And critically, you need robust procedures for updates, rollbacks, and version control across that distributed fleet.
That sounds like a lot more focus on deployment, operations, and failure management at the device level.
It is. Because Edge AI isn't just a tech upgrade. It's a fundamental shift in the business model. Lower costs, faster results, better privacy. But it comes with this operational complexity.
So the takeaway isn't just Edge AI is coming, it's that the real action, the real challenge, is moving from centralized control to managing this vast distributed intelligence.
Precisely. The future isn't just in the data center. It's out there in billions of devices. And for technical writers, for IT pros, figuring out how to document and manage the security, the latency, the updates, the entire life cycle of that distributed system, that's the next frontier.
That really frames the challenge. Documenting for resilience and consistency across potentially millions of endpoints, that requires a whole new level of rigor.
It does. Managing that complexity reliably is where the real value will be. Thank you for listening to the AI for Technical Writers podcast, where we help you get smarter than your competition. Remember to like, subscribe, comment, and share. We'll see you next week.